Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Sunday night, like Clockwork. I am your Dungeon Master, Danny Oliver, and tonight we will be picking up from where we left off last week, just before Panabon and maybe others got into some shenanigans. But of course, before we get into all of that, let's get into our Sunday announcements. First of all, you'll notice that we are still missing Leah, who is still dealing with life. And so until that is done, to be determined, she will not be joining us. And then Randy is out tonight. He is feeling under the weather, and due to his recent health problems, we just want to make sure he takes care of himself, gets all the rest he needs, so that he can come back to us in full force next week. So with that, we've got 4 of us here and then myself. So let's talk about what's going on around the world. We're going to take it around the table. Roland, tell us what's not going on in your part of the world.
I think I'm a little tired of saying that nothing's going on. I wish I could think of things that are actually going on. So I'm just going to talk about like what I'm doing right now. I'm just sipping tea. That's life right now, That's what's happening here in Seattle. It's a little chilly outside. Tea is really good, That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. John, a little bit south in Portlandia. What's kicking down there?
Oh, everything is happening. Everything is happening in Portland. It's all happening here. It's not quite as chilly in Portland. It's actually unseasonably warm. I'm a little worried about the climate change myself personally. I have a lot of really cool stuff coming up this week. My Kickstarter continues apace. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be talking about how to do character creation and fantasy casting to help me kind of craft characters that are 3-dimensional. So the Kickstarter's ongoing. I'll be having another giveaway probably at the end of the week, trying to get that in before I lose a weekend to Pokemon Arceus, which is coming out, and I'm very excited about it. And my podcast has a new episode coming up on Tuesday, where Magnus and I are going to be talking about X-Men 92. And I'm very excited to try to recreate the theme song, which I tried to craft with my voice. Yeah. So that's what I've got. I've got other things going on, but they're all kind of in the future down the road, and one secret project I can't talk about. So
secrets. Alex, Chicago, the place where you can get the best Olive Garden in the world. I've gathered.
Yeah, that's what we're known for.
The home.
Olive Garden when you're here, your family.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, nothing on this edge that's fun or cool or exciting. So, skip to Sarah.
Skipping on to Sarah.
More of stuff we talked about last week, gearing up for the Coddlesworth issue 2 Kickstarter, which is really exciting. Things are pretty well on track there. We will start marketing for it through the month of February and then launch, hopefully, early March, if not late March, but we'll see what happens based on our audience level at that point.
Skip the whole middle of March. If it doesn't happen in early, it's going to be late.
Yeah, well, we're launching another one probably mid-March, so don't wanna be cram everything into 1 week. But other than Coddlesworth, I'm recording an audiobook for Shadowrun, which is really cool. It's called Born to Run, and it's the first of a trilogy for Kellen Colt, who is one of the Shadowrun legends, which is fun. I think that's...
robot voices?
Well, it's great because the first half of the book, all of the characters alongside her are orc men and troll men. And I'm like, oh, guys, my voice, like, I
don't know. Wait, I want to hear orc and troll men from Sarah. Well I have to do camels.
That's true. So voice acting 101 here. So my degree was in theater, film acting, and voice. So one of them, I'm just like lowering my voice just a little bit. But another one of them, there's this exercise that we do, and I'm going to embarrass myself by doing this. But it's a good exercise, and it's how to like change your vocal range from like head voice to like your different parts of your cavity to your chest voice. So for chest voice, it's a very fast version, but it's and you can keep getting lower and lower in there and then talk within your chest voice. So just imagine as I'm recording, I'll be talking from my position like this and have the mic up here, which will be a lot of fun. So
Where's it? Where's the mic?
it'll be up here.
It was a tricky answer.
You dick.
Like my high school choir warm-ups. What it reminds me of.
That was
That happened.
happened.
That happened on the national interwebs.
That happened.
She's just doing voice work.
She's doing some kind of work.
Voice work.
I hate you all.
All right. Moving on. All right. Well,
my Olive Garden.
yeah. Let's see. With me, we're the work on the comic book issue 2 is coming apace. We're up to page 23 of 32, fully illustrated. And yeah, I'm just really excited. Getting ready to start sending maybe pages to the letterer, and then I've got to get the script for issue 3 all squared away so that we can just move almost right into maybe illustrating issue 3 after we're done with issue 2, because we definitely want to keep moving on this and not spend too much time between issues. Other than that, just doing my thing on the TikTok app nowadays, and playing games and prepping stuff for everything else that I've got going on in role-playing games.
There's
John.
one more exciting thing coming up. We are 30 days and counting out from Girl Scout cookie sales in my city. And I've got my countdown timer on for both the new flavors and for returning ones that I enjoy. So Girl Scout cookie sales. It's cookie time, everybody.
I'm here for that.
Is there a dance that goes with it's cookie time, everybody?
Yeah, cookie time from Troop Beverly Hills. It's culture, Danny. It's culture. It's cookie time.
Is it like peanut butter jelly time? Peanut
No,
butter
no,
jelly
it's wrong. Shelley Long was in the movie. I don't know how to explain this to you. Well, another time. We'll do it another time. We have things to wrap and stat.
Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get into this game and see what happens with Panabon as they maybe try to enter the Scholar's Abode. It's about that time. And welcome back. So yes, when we left off last week, most of the group, after some hijinks at the local library, of all places, where Shaylin was just trying to get her library card and maybe check out some books, and then everybody had to come and crash her party. They all decided to
give my real name.
Yeah. But what's on the card is what counts, right? And head off to the Scholar's Abode, maybe to see what they could find out within, and maybe see what this fellow is up to. So, with that, we find ourselves on the streets of Gilaluti, somewhere in the mid-range, the mid-tier of the sort of River Delta Canyon City. Fairly nice neighborhood, it appears. There's vendors selling apples. And up ahead, you can see the house that seems like the scholars. There are two dark claw, you assume they're dark claw, the two dragonborn men positioned on either side of the door, you assume guarding the door, which is definitely odd. The duty of a dark claw is not to guard the door of some dignitary from another city. It's to root out the potential followers of Shkultior. So we bring it to the party.
So I just
Okay.
made myself invisible too at the end of last session.
At the end of last session,
Yes.
I had a fantastic idea that I did not get to act on. But to create a diversion, I have Roland already at the apple cart buying an apple. And so
Who is Roland?
as Aegis is buying an apple. And I'm gonna put my gladiator skills to the test and put on a little show, so these guys can get a little bit of diversion to sneak in. Aegis, though, does not know this at all, so this is gonna be very surprising to him. And so I'm gonna yell down the walkway, Aegis! You
Okay.
lying son of a bitch!
Eh?
How
Well,
dare you? So I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna grab some apples and start throwing them at Aegis.
To which
Okay.
I turn my back with my shield. I turn my back to her.
And as I'm gonna come all the way up and like put him in a bear like hug and turn, and you could resist that if you'd like to. But I'm gonna like whisper in your ear as I'm doing so, hey, go along with this. We're creating a diversion. So, but I could still roll to still tackle you if you would like me to.
Aren't you the
Yep.
one in the past who has done the stealth roll on whispering and been like, "This is a diversion"?
I mean, I'm okay with that. I still roll with that.
Okay. So Shayloon, you are invisible but near Panabon. Panabon, there you are. What are you two doing during this diversion?
Yeah, it depends. Are the people leaving? Are the people leaving the door at all? Have they even noticed this diversion is happening?
I mean, pretty much everybody on the street has noticed the diversion happening.
Have they?
And there are other people on the street. I just didn't want to drop down like 5,000 NPC tokens.
It's okay.
or
We're gonna
even
make
20.
it bigger. It's cool. Give
So,
it back.
so they're noticing, but
I'm actually starting to write something on paper with my ink quill. And I'm just waiting to see if the distraction works before I start. And I've dropped a sheet of paper that I wrote something on, and I'll explain if we get inside what that is, because that's when I want the mayhem to start. From that.
okay. So you are writing something on a note.
I wrote something on a note, and then I'm waiting to drop the note for when I know I can definitely get inside.
Okay. And are you just remaining in the same position, or are you
Where am I
moving
on
anywhere?
that? Oh, I'm like way out the heck in the middle of the. So no, actually, I'm gonna back up a little bit and move towards the wall to basically do like a little U around the now invisible Shayloon. Just move towards the wall, and I'm writing. It's gonna be real good if this goes off how I'm hoping it's gonna go off.
So are these stairs up here, just to the right of Panabon?
Yeah, it's just like a stoop
Okay, that leads up to the house, or
that leads up to a house. The one that we're looking at, as far as the one that's being guarded, and the ones that we believe that's over there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I'm not quite to that, but this is perfect. I want to do this anyways. Also, could you describe like the side? Is the side of the building or the housing structure? Is that also just kind of the same stone as the canyon? Does it look different? Is it offset?
So generally, there are places where the natural stone kind of comes out, but it's a lot of worked stone and bricks, and a lot of it is. Are you intending to move? Okay, yes. And a lot of that is really fine brick, and there's like sort of golden or brass metallic rods kind of interspersed as well. Hard to tell if that's actually worked into the stone or if that's something on the surface, maybe only an inch or so deep, but indeed.
And I'm gonna drop the first note because I finished the first note, and I've got some traveling to get to that door because I didn't realize it was the door. I thought it was the door I was in front of. So I'm gonna drop the note that I wrote, and I'm gonna start on a second note of a similar variety that's going to get dropped closer to that door.
Okay. So you're just dropping some notes. This altercation down here is happening. The Dragonborn are definitely got their eyes on it. They aren't moving from their position, however.
They definitely aren't. So I whispered to Aegis, okay, we gotta take the fight all the way so we accidentally run into the guards.
Wait, did we roll for you to hit me initially?
Oh, I just grabbed you. I mean, you can resist it. I will also be using my crowd pleaser because I have an audience. So.
I want to see you, so I want to make you roll.
You have a huge audience, so you actually can maximize your crowd pleasing.
Okay, awesome.
Abilities.
I don't know.
See these numbers. Roll to hit.
Let's see. So it's just the unarmed combat roll would be what?
You could just use your greatsword roll. It's the same
okay.
roll. And just remember to give yourself 2 levels of crowd pleaser.
Okay. And let's see if I can do crowd pleaser first because I'm not sure if I know how to do this actually really correctly. Don't know. Oh, sorry.
All right, so
to do that even without my extra stuff. Yeah.
So that actually would have been a 26. So what you want to do is on your page there, scroll all the way down to where it says crowd pleaser under your showboat abilities, and there, if you open that up, it has the effect. And so you can hit that twice. That then gives you that effect.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, she's got hold of you, Aegis, shield and all.
But we're not just staying here. I'm going to be dragging him forward and back all the way up to those steps, and when I get close enough, I'm going to do like just a regular, like what you would call a karate roll or a dojo roll that will go and hit one of them, and then the goal is to both Aegis and I basically knock them over, and for us to be like, oh shit, sorry. But not for a while.
I'd like to resist once for that initial time before she whispers to me.
That's going to be an athletics check against the athletic check of Perunia.
Cool.
Good luck with that. You might get lucky.
Or not.
I will say I like the purple dice.
I'm going to use an advantage.
Everyone has 2, I believe, so at least.
Cool. Hey, that's a better roll. Okay, go ahead.
Not that much better.
What do you mean? 4 to a 15?
No, I already rolled my stuff. I did 24 damage.
Well, you do have to. That was to grapple, so now you have to roll.
Now, I'm resisting your grapple now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then I'm just gonna, I guess, re-roll my greatsword. I guess.
No, this is just gonna be an athletics check.
Okay, got it.
We're doing judo now.
Okay, got it. Let's see if I'm gonna need to re-roll that or not. I hope not.
You likely will. That said, you do drag in that first couple of moments. You do manage to drag him a little bit in that direction.
I'm very happy to do it again. And I fall on my butt.
Wow.
If nothing else, we are very entertaining at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you are attempting to
we're doing
grab
the thing.
again.
We're causing a distraction. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So do keep in mind that to initially do a grapple is an attack. So that would be an attack roll. You can use your greatsword or whatever, just your normal melee attack. And then like during the turn when they're trying to push you off, that's when it becomes an athletics check to keep hold of them. All right. So not that it matters because you rolled a 1. So regardless of your bonuses, the same thing happens. That said,
oh, we're not done. We're going to keep going rounds until we get over there. So yes.
Yes. So somewhere in there, Perunia is telling you to go with it or whatever it is Perunia is
So
telling
for that second, I shake loose. But when she whispers, go along with it, I actually, when I'm trying to like get her off of me, I actually grab her hands back and put them back on me. And like, fine. Fine.
I roll into the other.
I would like from Perunia
a
performance check that is with advantage because now Aegis is playing along.
Okay. Here we go.
You've been wanting to probably roll this for a while.
I have. And none of that is very good.
Too bad. 14 is not too bad.
I know, but a 15 would be better.
True.
All right. Well, they're definitely watching. Shaylin, what are you doing while this altercation is happening and you have moved up? You see now that there is a window just above where you're standing. It looks like maybe the curtains are drawn, so you can't look inside. These lights here, they're electric lights that are here out on the street. And of course, then there's this stoop, these stairs that go up to the door.
So is the window open or?
The window is closed, yes. So the window is closed and the curtains are drawn.
Knowing that stealth is not my forte, I am counting on Perunia and Aegis to kind of clear the Dragonborn at least out of the way enough that I'm comfortable getting up the stairs without being noticed, and without bumping into anyone. So I'm not taking risks.
And Panabon, what are you doing?
I have dropped my second note, and I just am edging closer and writing a third note.
How long are these notes?
They are like 5 words long.
Okay. And Lox is just kind of over by this wall down here, hat tipped down. I don't know who these people are.
Oh,
sort of.
I do remember that Lox had said that he was going to go around back to cover the back end just in case there was stuff happening from there, if we still wanted that to happen.
He might try to do that. But right now, with all the shenaniganry, everyone's responding to that. So, Perunia, you've got a sort of hold on Aegis, and you want to drag him. So in the next, let's see.
Yeah, and drag is like too much. I actually want to like throw him off so he gets like, a good 15 feet, and then I want to like do a jump like past him. So like we're gaining as much space towards there as possible to where we're going to eventually collide with the guards at the door. So it's going to be big, dramatic movements, and I am taking full advantage of showmanship.
Don't get us thrown in the stocks.
It'll be fun.
Just a distraction.
All right. So I feel like I do understand what it is you're trying to accomplish here. So I'm going to
think WWE, guys.
All right. So
well, okay then. I put her in a collar and elbow tie up,
Yes.
and then
Yes. I go along with it.
I spin her arm around her back and put her in a hammerlock, and then
Then I fall, flip him over, and we just keep tumbling until we like get on top of them.
Okay, as you are nearing them, they do seem to be somewhat concerned that you are going to get a little too close. And then at this point here, Perunia, you're about 10 feet away. So you want to like throw Aegis into them, or you want to maneuver yourself? What's the deal here?
The answer is both. So what I want to do is throw him and then follow it up with one of those like where you're going to run up the wall and then like jump on somebody or flip over. But I don't think I could manage a flip even as Perunia. So like just run up and of course kick Aegis, but it will be the guard accidentally.
You have a +4 to athletics. Don't sell yourself short.
Oh,
just do it.
I don't know if it's more of a dex thing or a strength thing. I don't know.
Well, if you want to do a back flip or a front flip or any kind of flip,
but
that's going to be acrobatics.
Oh, okay.
And then
so me just running up and falling down is totally fine. I'm good with that.
Okay, so you shove Aegis into this this dragon claw here. The dragon claw is going to attempt to shove Aegis back forward. I don't think that's going to change what Perunia is trying to do, regardless. But let's go ahead and, with advantage, given the weirdness of the situation. All right, so he does manage to push Aegis away, but you come flying in. Go ahead and make an acrobatics roll to see if you manage your insane maneuvers.
She is killing me. I say it to the guards.
Like, I want to roll this, but I realize that for dramatic purposes, it's going to be better if I use one of my advantages from our group. So let me look real quick to see what I've got from chat.
You have 2 additional in addition to whatever it says, because yes, last week there were 2 that were granted. I don't think.
Okay, so is that where I just do advantage, or is it a hit?
Advantage.
All right, I'm gonna do an advantage on this roll then. Yeah,
Whoa.
20.
Nice.
All right, so you managed to like do a front flip, triple somersault with a twist. And come out of it foot lashing out. Go ahead and make your unarmed attack strike.
Which is...
You'll use your greatsword.
Okay.
That's fine.
Right, but wouldn't that damage be too much?
The damage would just be your strength bonus. So you're not going to roll the damage. If you hit, you just...
Got it.
Okay, so you managed to kick this individual.
Great.
And he takes 4 points of damage. And the other one runs forward and attempts to grab a hold of you. Their attention is definitely on these 2 now for the other of you.
Yep, that's my moment to slip in then. If they've moved forward and away from the stoop,
They have moved forward and away from the stoop. So I'm going to go ahead and have this fellow try to grapple Perunia, and then we'll see what the gnomes are doing. All right. So with your armor class of 16, this guy does grab you, and he yells in Draconic, like, "What the hell are you doing? Get out of here! Take this somewhere else." As the other guy is like got his jaw and is like trying to regain his bearings.
Oh, sorry. This guy just sold me some shitty herbal medicine that just made me get diarrhea.
Yes, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are moved by your plight. All right, Shaylin.
She took it the wrong way. It is a suppository. It's not an oral cure. It's not my fault.
All right, Shailene. So where are you moving to exactly? And also, after Shailene tells me what is happening there, John, tell me what Panabon is doing.
So I steal a look at Panabon to see if they are moving in the same direction. Because like the next thing is locked doors are not my specialty. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and at least move onto the stoop because the guys they were in front of the stoop. So even if they move back into place, like I'm at least at the door.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hold action to like slip inside until like Panabon makes it happen, because I'm also not keen on visiting assassins' houses. So like if the door just doesn't open, then I'm good with not moving.
All right.
All right.
I would like to cha-cha slide real smooth up to the door and use my thieving tools to unlock the door if it's locked.
So trying the door, you do notice that it is locked. So you will need to make use of your thieving tools. Your tools of
Yay,
thieving.
I love this. I say quietly to myself.
When if I can, when
Mhm.
Panabon approaches the door, I want to fall into Perunia and be completely dramatic about how much I'm getting my ass beat. Like, just more dramatic to try to up the attention.
Okay.
Fake herbalist. I continue to diatribe.
As the two of you are outside doing all of this, you do manage to get the door open, revealing a long hallway.
And then as soon as Panabon gets in, I stand up and walk away. Until nothing's happened.
Okay, so the two of you slip in. Do you close the door behind you, Panabon?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And I put the third and final notes onto the door, taped on the door, and the notes all say the same thing: "All hail Skultior." And then I slip, because I don't like long hallways with no cover, I'm going to slip into whatever room is right there on the
Left.
Assuming the door is, I guess there's a door there. It's hard to tell because everything is black.
I'm not great at stealth, but if I notice these notes going up on places, I would like to snatch them down. If I don't notice, fine.
Just make a perception test at disadvantage.
Ooh.
You do notice the one that goes up on the door. So you notice that Panabon has slapped a note on the door as you're going inside. You don't really have a chance to look or read it or anything before you take it down.
It's Panabon. I know it's bad news.
Right.
So.
And then the door is closed.
I'm invisible, so I'll wait till Panabon goes, and then I'll just sneak open the door, grab it, and close it again.
Okay. Panabon. This room, as you enter, seems to be a sitting room of some sort. There's piano. There's staircase going down, and then stairs that it loops and goes up as well.
Oh. Okay.
There are a couple of doors in here.
Couple of doors. So I remember the last time there was a room with the piano and Dragonborn doing nefarious stuff. There was something on the piano. If when Jesus or was by the piano, something in the sitting room that was super incriminating. I'm just gonna look through the music real quick to see if there's anything.
Make an investigation check as you look through the music. Shailene,
I also want to slip a note in there that says "All hail Skultior."
Okay. If you do want to move in a direction, then go ahead and let me know. Just do keep in mind that where the doors are, and
Oh, I
if you
see.
want to try and go through one.
Yeah, it's a little hard seeing switching back from tech to Shay. So, but yeah, I'll go through the next door on the right.
Okay, so while you are looking at that, there is definitely music there, and you do find the fiddle on top of the refrigerator. That's pretty incriminating. Folks that play fiddles, but nothing really in the piano itself. In here, Shayloon, you see that there is a hallway. There is you don't know if that's a statue necessarily or if that's a suit of armor at the end of the hall. There are doors going, 2 doors on one side and 1 door at the far end.
I'll go to the first door on the right.
The first door on the right. All right. Panabon, what are you doing?
All right. I left my note in between the music, and I'm going to move toward the staircase, and I'm just going to listen for a second to hear if I hear anybody upstairs.
All right. So at the staircase, you do not hear anybody upstairs or downstairs, but you can make a perception test to see if it's because they're being sneaky quiet or something else is hidden.
I'll do a perception test. Wow, I perceive nothing. I have an advantage thing. I would like to advantage that.
Go for it.
And I just re-roll when I declare that, right? I believe. Yes.
Yeah, you just do another roll.
That's better.
Okay. You still don't think you hear anybody upstairs or downstairs.
Exciting. Let's go upstairs.
All right. Before you go upstairs, just a few things to kind of note. So this is very much a sort of in the times modern. So things to notice. There's radiators. That's where any heat would be coming from. It's pretty warm, so they don't appear to be on, but it does have radiators. And the lights are all electric. So these are all electric lamps. All right. So before you go upstairs,
the future is now.
Shayloon, this door does open.
Okay.
Right up. And you find what appears to be some manner of bedroom, perhaps. Oh, wait, did I just close that again? Interesting. All right. So.
Okay.
In this bedroom, the lights are off. Bed is made. Curtains are drawn. The
sounds so sad.
Quick look through the drawers of the dressers or desk or anything and see if there's anything interesting. If not, I'll move on.
So there's a vanity, and go ahead and give us a investigation check as you attempt to look through it. At first, it appears empty. You pull the drawers open, and there's like some dust, a little bit of dust or whatever in them, but they appear to be mostly empty. It looks like this room is fairly unused.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Okay, so while that happens, Panabon, you are going up the stairs.
Going up the stairs to the floor where I land.
All right, so let me go ahead and reposition our view. Oh.
Thank you, Alex, by the way, for that head shake. I appreciate that.
I got you, John.
All right, so map probably went dark for everybody unless you are the tech or Panabon. So are we following Shayloon's token or are we following the tech token?
I've been going back and forth, but you took the tech token away and now I don't know where it is.
Okay, so just go back to the tech token.
How do I do that?
All right, so I see. Hold on, one moment.
Ooh.
I see what's going on. All right.
That is an evil rug that I'm standing on. I can just tell by the design. Evil rug.
I want an evil rug. Can I get that from like Wayfair or something?
I mean, anything you buy from Wayfair is an evil piece of furniture, considering it's Wayfair. So
That's the majority of my furniture.
yeah.
The worst furniture I have in my room is the Wayfair couch.
Yeah.
It hurts and has springs popping out of the cushions.
I see what's going on. Your map is actually seeing from Shayloon's point of view.
When I'm clicked on Shayloon, yes, but when I click on the tech token, I see from the tech perspective. But when it's out of my range because I'm Shayloon, I can't see it anymore.
That's what I mean, because you're
Yeah.
Shayloon. So like you center on the tech token, but you're seeing out of Shayloon's eyes, right? So if the tech token is away from Shayloon, you can't see it. So
Yeah.
All right. What I'll do for now, and in the future, I think to fix this will be to use your tech token maybe as like the main thing to see through. But let's go ahead and put a fake Shayloon up here.
I don't know why I'm blurry, by the way, but that's just the way it is now.
Because you're trying to be stealthy.
I guess so.
All right. So up here, Panabon, you see there is, you've gone up the stairs. There's windows. The curtains here are drawn. There's plants on the windowsill. There is, again, a radiator, some pots, and there's a door.
I love going through closed, locked doors. So I'm going to do that.
All right. This door is indeed locked.
I want to fix that.
Why don't you give us a roll? All right. That is going to open the door. I'll open it real quick. And before we go into it, however, back to Shayloon. So, me. All right.
Oop, can you click on me again? Because it's all dark again.
Yep.
There we go.
So there are two doors here at the end of the hallway.
What's this thing?
There is a desk, it appears. It doesn't have any drawers or dressers. It just looks like it may be a place where you can read or write. There are books on the shelves on the north side.
Okay, what are the books? I want to look at the titles of the books and stuff.
Okay, so you're going to spend some time looking at the titles of the books. So while you do that, we will move back to Panabon. Okay. It is obvious in here, Panabon, that you are in some sort of wizard study.
Oh boy.
The furniture makes it seem like maybe this individual does wizardy stuff while there's an audience.
I can't see it.
Let me see what's going on with the token.
I can still see Shay. She's back in the one bedroom, and the tech token is out by the bookshelf. Yay! Ooh, sparkly.
Okay.
Well, because... yes.
Go ahead.
So what I'm going to do is I want to... First, I'm going to perceive the room, just in case, because especially this thing in the corner I'm seeing here out of the corner of my eye, not a fan of. But then I'm going to very, very softly, like not a jazz or anything, but just very softly, just the tiniest note on that homing flute that both Shaylun and I have, so that hopefully Shaylun will understand that means to come toward me. I hope. Yes.
Okay, so you're blowing on the
rape whistle, Danny.
that she gave you before.
It's a homing flute. It's
Yes, the homing flute.
Usually it's meant to be like, where's Panabon? Why is everything going to heck? But in this case, it's a good thing.
How loudly are you blowing on it?
Like you could mistake it for a sparrow at the window were you in another room. Like you wouldn't necessarily think it's coming from a nefarious thief type person.
This is bad. This is
Okay.
bad.
Shaylun, as you are finding perhaps a few interesting titles, nothing nefarious, but a few books that talk about certain magical theories and the like, you do hear this unmistakable whistle sound. It's very light, very slight, loud enough though that if anyone else is in the house, they're probably hearing it.
While I have my like hand out at a book title, like I just close my eyes, give a little head nod or head shake. If any of those titles have something in it that I might not know, I would take it.
Okay. What was your investigation roll for that particular?
You did not have me.
Okay. I'll have you make one.
Okay. There we go.
You do find a book that looks interesting, so you grab it, and as you move towards Panabon, you put it in your satchel.
Cool. And I'm going to very slowly and out of the way move toward Panabon, so that if anyone comes like through, they're not going to trip over my invisible self. So like keep to the edges of the rooms instead of walking in the direct path.
Sure. It takes you a few moments, but eventually you arrive. While she is moving, after you blow your whistle, Panabon, is there anything you're doing, or are you just completely waiting for Shaylun?
Oh, so is this a coat of armor that I see here, or what's this in the corner of the room?
In the corners of this room, it appears to be either a statue or a suit of armor. You're not sure which.
Wait.
Not without getting up on them.
Okay.
Or it could be a statue wearing a suit of armor.
Great. I'm going to keep an eyeball on the suit of armor statue with my magic dagger that cuts stone at the ready. But I'm going to go over to the stones in the center of the room and see if they remind me of the stones from the stone wire things from Uzenda's trial A.
Okay.
From the top before we descended into the crypt thingy, Bob.
Very good. Yeah. Go ahead and give us an investigation test as you look at the stones. Around them is this. They are placed inside of some sort of runic drawing of. You're not sure if it's the ink that glows or if magic is making it glow. Hard to say. But they are definitely pretty rocks.
Shakes head repeatedly. And against every instinct in my body, I am not going to steal them until I am told it's okay to do so, just in case they would explode my body were I to pick them up. I'm maturing as a person.
Shaylun, you arrive just in time to see Panabon about to probably take some of those stones off that table.
That's misinterpretation and slander, good sir. Slander and misinterpretation.
I wince, but honestly, like from hearing the note and knowing that anyone that might be in the house would have heard the note too, I kind of make a quick assessment of the room, and probably the stones is where the most magic is coming from. Like, so I want to take my invisible self, and so that if someone casts detect magic or something like that and tries to sense me out, it's hard to find me with all the other magic nearby. So that would probably be on the other side of that table, is my guess, based on what I'm seeing.
So you're going to squeeze over to the other side of the table?
Yeah.
All right. So you do so. Meanwhile, as you pass by, you notice the bookshelves here, a couple of open books. Whatever this contraption is that's hooked into some sort of power supply. And then the couches, there is light. There is a small fire burning in the fireplace, but there's no wood that you can see. Yeah.
Cool.
Panabon does not take the stones, by the way. Panabon turns and probably hears you jostling past as you move.
That's fine. I'm basically going to stay as out of the way as possible so that until I'm sure that either nobody's coming or someone does come, investigates, and moves on before I try to review anything in here. Or, like, I can review from my spot, but before I, like, go rifling through anything or try to take anything.
Yeah, Panabon says under their breath, tell me if there's anything that should move or should not move. Basically, I'm looking to you for guidance because you're the magic person, and I don't want to explode.
Yeah, Shaylin, give me a Arcana check.
I'm going to go ahead and use my inspiration.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, so everything in this room right now that you're looking at, like just the way things are set up, so it's not a detect magic or anything, but just looking at things and based off of what you know, everything is fairly benign. Obviously, this device is channeling some sort of magical energy into the table, maybe to hold magic steady. The stones and their placement in the on the table appear to be mostly just some sort of like divining. So the placement of the stones on the edge, and then the center stone is like a focus for some sort of divination, and really low powered. It seems like almost parlor trick-esque in terms of that. The book that is kind of like seeing the books that are open around, none of them really call out to you. The one on the table appears to be basically like a gemology version of like reading tarot. And then the other books just appear to have various illustrations of different runic configurations.
So the thing that's most interesting to me probably is the mechanism to stabilize magic.
You hear under Panabon under their breath again. It kind of looks like the one from Gacy had in their room. Gacy had one, if I remember correctly from that map.
If I can, I'm going to kind of squeeze myself into that spot so that I can look at it closer. And again, if someone comes in the door, I'm through some magic-y stuff, even though it's pishy magic. But I'm going to kind of try to like mentally study this to figure out how it works. And then again, on my way out, I'll do a more thorough sweep, but for now.
Very good. While this is happening, I would like to just hear the story of what's going on outside. I'm not too concerned about these guys, these two Dragonborn Darkclaws winning or getting the upper hand. I just want to hear the story as Perunia and Aegis remember it later?
So I think in Perunia's mind, like she super overshares her quote unquote bad experience with this herbalist fake medicine that made her extremely sick. And when somebody's goes into way too much detail about a medical issue and you just don't want to hear anymore, that's how much she goes in a little bit beyond that, where they're like puking in their mouths a little bit, and are just definitely trying to get away from her. But I know that I can't see Shay, so I know that I need to give her enough time to like go. So she's like selling the story. And I know that Aegis was already like walking off, so it's probably on me to like just like be as angry as possible for as long as possible. And then like I think that I probably maybe would have seen like Panabon out of the corner of my eye, but like I don't want them to like see my eye movement tracking. So like I wouldn't be even necessarily looking at the door. I would just be talking for as long as physically possible.
Okay. And then once they get inside, you pretty much just start to wrap it up, or?
Oh no, this goes on like one of your great aunt stories. It goes on far too long, where they are cutting Perunia off at some point because they just can't hear anymore.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So eventually they do cut you off and just kind of tell you to move it along, and just maybe have a nice day. You do notice from their regalia that they are not high ranking. So that is something that you take into, you just kind of notice about them as you're talking to them.
Yeah. So, and when as soon as Panabon went in, I immediately just go out of character, stop playing with her, stand up off the ground, and walk back towards the apple cart. And then I just help myself to like one of his apple boxes and sit on it, and the apple that I purchased from him, I just start eating it.
Okay,
and that's what I do.
After I would have left, I would have went around the back and like kind of like in a chill way motion that Locke should stay in front because he had originally planned to go to the back, but now that he's not suspicious with the guards, it's probably safer for him to be out front.
Okay. So what you do notice, however, as you're going to find the around the back, is you come around and notice Locke's coming back the other way with a sort of there is no around back. It's the big Mesa Bluff, and these are built kind of into the side in this particular case. So there's no like back way in or out of the house. So
okay, but there would still be like next to, right? So there is likely a house next to this house?
Yes, there are definitely houses adjacent.
Okay. And like,
but there's no space between them. There's so they are built into a cliff wall.
It's like a I imagine it like a strip mall where they're all just side by side, but then fixed into you'd have to like go into their place, into their back room to try to find a way next door, maybe, if anything, like a strip mall is. It's probably not even like that though. It's probably like there's no way to get in.
Yeah, it's just the front. There's no loading areas in the back. They're not businesses, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how creative Prunia is, but we're gonna probably say if she thinks Lox can't figure it out, she doesn't think she's gonna be able to figure it out. So I'll just stay further down the road than Lox is.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, back inside, this device, it's you've seen stuff like this before, especially like at university. These are devices that can extend the duration of certain spells and rituals that can be cast on a location, like on an object, right? So it would be hard to like make it work on a spell that you cast on a creature because the creature would have to stay there, but it could ostensibly do so. That it creates a sort of a stabilizing field over the table is what this is doing.
Very do I hear any like footsteps in the hall or anything like that?
No, it's odd. You feel like you have the house. You feel like the house is empty. I mean, you feel it's got that nobody's home feeling.
Search the desk.
In here, so that's it. So there's no desks in here necessarily. It's just a table.
Oh, that's just a table.
Right.
All right.
But there are books there.
Yeah.
Along it.
I'll go ahead and do my thorough search then. I'm feeling confident, for better or worse.
And
so
I'm gonna go over and look at the statue on the side.
Okay. Which statue would you like to go look at?
Oh, is there more than one? I guess I should. Okay, I see the full-length room. Okay, well, I'm going to go to the one closest to me, even though there are 3 of them, and it's very... And I'm just going to...
Is that a statue or suits of armor?
I can't... What is it, Danny?
So as I was saying, statue or suit of armor on a statue. As you approach, it is a set of metal plates riveted together, so it is not a statue. It's not necessarily a suit of armor either. You don't necessarily see where someone would be able to don it. Everything seems like riveted together. And so it seems very much like, or maybe it was armor, but it's only meant for display. And so they just went ahead and like sealed everything together. When you inspect it, are you touching it? Are you like giving it a full inspection, or are you like steering clear? Like, how are you inspecting it?
I'm inspecting it close enough where I can stab it, but not close enough to touch it. And remembering from Gesu's place, I'm specifically looking for buttons or something with a secret room with a creepy place where people are being ritually sacrificed. So remembering Gesu and assuming that as the norm for Dragonborns doing magic, looking for secret rooms and assuming I know Scooby-Doo's not a reference in this universe, but I don't know how else to put it. I'm assuming for a Scooby-Doo moment.
Okay. So with that, we're going to enter our break at the halfway point and see what else these 2 gnomes discover inside this so far rather benign mage's house.
I love when the GM says it like that, because that's not terrifying at all. I'm sure it's fine.
All right, so we'll see you in 10 minutes. And we're back. When we left before the break, Panabon was about to be murdered by a suit of armor in the corner of the room. And
why would you speak that into being? Why? What did I ever do to you?
Actually, no, that is not at all what happens. What does happen is Panabon takes a look at this thing, and it seems pretty much as stated. A suit of armor that has been mostly welded together. You're careful not to touch it or get too close to it, just because you don't want it to spring out at you. But it's just, it's a suit of armor in the corner, decorative purposes, as they mostly do. And Shayloon, these books, once again, just kind of standard stuff, like first level university stuff almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then we have more to explore. Panabon, can you check what's in that next door?
I make the kind of salute signal, that was my next thought, so gotta go. Yes.
All right, so you head to this door, and it is locked.
Can I fix that?
Go ahead and give us a test to see if you can fix that. You try to fix that, and you do not. You're unable to unlock the door. You can try again. Just keep in mind that when you do try again, the difficulty increases.
I'm going to try again. I don't like
Okay.
doors that foil me. And if it happens the second time, I'm just going to take it as a sign and do something untoward.
You passed the blurry
Okay.
diffuses over to Dan now.
You realize that wow, I am blurry.
Yeah.
Hand.
Jagar is the appropriate sound effect for that, is
Yes.
Jagar.
Yes, Jagar. All right. You realize that the reason that didn't fix anything, the reason that you couldn't unlock it the first time was because the locking mechanism is not actually locked.
I'm going to pretend like I unlocked it and open the door.
It does not open.
I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that at all. In any way, shape, or form.
Without even looking, can I like just have my back to him and be like, "It's magically locked."
As you hear Panabon
struggling,
I exhale through my nose, just like a note. Like it's not like sigh snorting. It's just like.
Is your nose whistling?
Yeah, it's like a annoyed noise whistling, but also, if that's magically locked, that means whatever is on the other side of this door is definitely magic, which is probably what we're here for. It's fine.
Is there?
The door did not best me. It's magical. I'm not bested. It's magical.
Is there a window or anything along? Like what's on further north of that room or that door?
Nothing. There's looks like a radiator and another statue.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a keyhole, like Alice in Wonderland style, that I can peek through, or under the door, like a crack that you can like peek?
Yeah, the door is not air. Whoa! What just happened? Oh, I see what happened. The door is not airtight. Ergo, you can try to look through the keyhole or under the door as well.
I'm torn between what the responsible, smart thing to do is and excitement over figuring out a loophole. So,
Whatever's the least meta is what you should go for.
Yeah, I wanted to do a wisdom check. But, all right, so I'm going to just walk over there, peek through the keyhole, and Misty step my ass in there.
Okay.
This is such a bad idea.
The second I see that too, I'm actually going to go over to the fireplace and start looking for the trapdoor into the secret evil room behind the fireplace.
Okay.
If it's magically locked, I can't help you. So
This room is dark. You come to on a carpet. You can kind of see around the light coming from under the door and through the keyholes enough to give your dark side enough illumination. There appears to be some weapon stands up against the one wall, a radiator on the other side, and another door.
Are any of the weapons like neato?
They're nice.
They're nice
crossbows.
Weapons?
There's some blades. Yeah, there's.
I'm going to use my ability called yeah, I'm going to use my awakened spellbook.
Okay.
Once per day, I can cast a ritual at the normal casting time.
Okay.
And I want to cast Identify and like start looking at shit.
Okay. You cast Identify. As you take some time to place hands on all of the various weapons and equipment, Panamon, what are you doing? Shaylin has vamped. And you can hear her rummaging around in there.
Well, I'm going to ignore my temptation to just shut off the evil-looking machine in the corner of the room, because to me, the last time I saw this, it was doing evil. So I'm actually just going to go over to the fireplace, because I'm 90% certain there's got to be like a secret room, and the fireplace is super big, and it's lit, and there's no one here. There's got to be a button, one of the things moves, like there's got to be something behind this fireplace.
You find that you could enter into the chimney if you wanted to. The fire is coming out of a couple of gas pipes, and it's really low. You could probably wiggle your way back into the back without lighting yourself on fire.
How hot is the fireplace?
It's pretty warm. I mean, you don't want to touch it with a bare hand, but if you've got gloves and stuff, you could probably, if you quickly shimmy through.
Sure. Works, then I'll 5 seconds in and out of the chimney is what I will do. There's got to be an evil room somewhere.
If you wanted someone to set you on fire, Panabon, all you had to do was ask.
You're in the other room.
I will come back just for that.
All right, so give me a acrobatics check.
Oh, at least I'm good at acrobatics. At least one.
You can wiggle your way through the bars, and looking down the chimney before like moving in, you do have to quickly make a decision, like to either back out or get into the chimney. But it looks like it goes down maybe 30, 40 feet at the most. And looking up, you do not see light, so it must make a turn somewhere. Now, keep in mind, these houses are built into stone, into like cliff face rock walls. So that means like a chimney would have to empty out way up at the top somehow, or else it's just going to be emptying into the city.
It nothing looks out of place, right? It looks like, does it look solid? Or is this like, I don't know until I've stepped inside kind of thing?
Yeah, if you want to actually get into the chimney and like do some investigating, you can. But like I said, it does go down, and you are on the second level of this house. So it definitely looking down, you can see like light kind of poking in from what looks like maybe just one level down.
Great. I'm going to go one level down is what I'm going to do. This is fine. This is a good idea. Yes, I'm here, and we're committing to this evil room that I'm going to find, and I'm not going to burst into flames.
Okay. Sounds like a good time. I'm with it. So let's go ahead and have you, and then you're going to climb out of the fireplace there, because you do find yourself, there is a fireplace there, and it's the same sort of situation.
Yes, that is all going to happen.
All right. You managed to, and I'm going to temp move Shaylin, so Shaylin is not actually here. And then I'm going to reposition the camera for us. You find yourself in what looks to be a dining room of some sort. There is a table on the left. It looks like a service table, maybe. Seating for 6, and a door on the far side, a couple of doors.
Anything underneath the table?
The rug.
The rug. Do I have line of sight to those books?
You do see those books, yes. You do see them.
I can't read Ashani, but does it look similar to anything I saw above?
No. In fact, not all the books are in Ashani. Some of them are in other languages. There's at least 2 in Draconic, 1 in Melved. But they do just look like
I have Draconic.
Super interesting.
I have Draconic as a language. So did the Draconic ones at least just look like cookbooks or something like that?
Yeah, one is like, exotic locales in Palacune, and the other one is, the great store of wealth in the mountains of Palacune, a miner's tale, or some nonsense.
Wait, can I rifle through the exotic location of Palacune book to see if anything is...
It's a tour guide.
Marked? Oh, it's a tour guide. Okay. If something was marked, I'd feel okay. But all right, so there's doors here, and I'm just gonna go through the one exactly to. I'll go through the one closest to me here.
Go ahead and give me a lockpicking test.
Thieving! Thieving!
You manage to open this door and find yourself in a bedroom. The lights are out in this room.
Oh, I don't see. Wait, is
You
that?
see what you see. You see what you see.
Okay, let's see what it is.
It's just really dark. So.
Yeah. I have a hooded lantern, actually.
You have a hooded lantern.
Yep.
Let's see here.
I get my toes chopped off by the Thieves Guild if I didn't have a hooded lantern with me.
So would you like to pull out your hooded lantern?
Always.
All right. You now have your lamp. You're able to light things up a little bit better.
Ooh, do I see? Is that a desk I see?
On the far side, there is a desk over there.
Oh, what is this then? Is this like a roll top or is this?
Depends on what exactly you're looking at. So you're next to a wardrobe.
Oh, that's a wardrobe. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just saying that if I ever built a mansion, I would build a bedroom off the dining room too.
There's a chest at the foot of the bed. There's a desk at the far end. There's more of those spooky statue armor things. And there's something really weird on the wall opposite the bed.
Wait, I can see that? I can't see that. Okay, sorry. What do you mean? Is it the little? I'm not sure what it is. What is weird? I'm gonna move toward a thing, and you tell me if I'm getting hot or cold.
So it's on the wall opposite the bed. So.
It's this thingy.
I don't know what this thingy is. I mean, you may be pointing to it on your screen. I cannot see you.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay, the thing that looks like the organ from Phantom of the Opera, kind of.
Maybe. So it is. It looks like some sort of like it's a big like archway. The best way to describe it is if it was like a mirror built into a wall somehow. But instead of there being a mirror, it doesn't seem to have a solid surface at all. It just seems to be like wispy mist, kind of like trapped in an area.
I want to. I'm not there. I'm not there. I want to cast my spell.
I go. I definitely. I make a noise in my throat, and then I realize that Shayloon is probably in the other room still. Dead. Hopefully not dead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ball bearing and I'm going to throw it at the wisp to see what happens.
We'll be back to see what happens in just a moment. Shayloon,
then I die.
Oh,
you. None of these items appear to be magic.
Aw. All right.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs.
You're not surprised.
I'm ready to go through the next door.
Okay, it is locked.
Keyhole?
There is a keyhole. However, it is far enough from the light that when you look through the keyhole, it is very dark inside. You cannot be certain that you would not misty step into something.
Man, where are the legends of the hidden temple guards when you need them, you know?
What I can do, though... I could, I'm gonna kind of right to my side. I'm gonna cast my brief coal fire and see if some of the light from that like can show me something on the other side. Like if I can get some light through that keyhole. Baby.
I understand what you're doing. So you cast a fire there, and then you do see that there is a room you can see enough to get in with Misty Step if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okie dokie. You do not teleport into anything. You find yourself in an odd sort of room here. It's dark. You can very faintly make out lights, or from the light behind you, you can very faintly make out sort of the shapes in here. There's a table there. There's a couple of weapons on the table. There's a rifle and a weapon rack on the side. And then at the far end, you see a few shapes, odd shapes.
All right, I'm gonna oopsie. I am going to do the thing where I create my brief coal fire so I can see things.
All right. Where do you want to create, like in the center of the room?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Does that leave a mark?
No. I don't believe so. Doesn't say it does.
It could. I mean, it is a fire, so it depends on like what's there.
And it's made out of coal, so it's bad for the environment.
All right. So.
All right.
With the fire, though, like you can kind of see scorch marks at the far end anyway. So, will they notice?
Cool. I'm gonna start identifying things again.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what you're going to start doing is trying to see if any of these items are magical. Meanwhile, that pebble you threw, it bounced apparently off of a wall, or the bearing bounced back at you. So behind the swirlies is a wall.
Are there any inscriptions on the misty thing? That would give me
No, but around the edges of the border of the actual thing itself, the frame, there are inscriptions. You do not understand them. They are. Give me an intelligence check, just straight up intelligence.
All right, straight up
You're not super bad at this.
Straight up intelligence. I'm not super bad at this.
Except you wanted to say.
I disagree immensely. I am slightly overwhelmed by this thing, and I'm still thinking about the evil room in Flamgesu's Manor where there was blood that definitely was not drying on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. You're feeling pretty sure that you're like somewhere in here is that, but you haven't found it yet.
But what I would like to do is I have some paper, I have some parchment, I have a quill. You know how in school when you did like with the charcoal to like make an impression of words and I guess maybe I'm the only one that did that. But it's like to
like a rub?
Yeah, like a rub.
Yeah.
So I can like show Shayloon something.
Absolutely. Yeah, you absolutely do that.
Do that.
Shayloon, while that rub is being made, you still don't find anything that is magical in here.
Okay. I'm going to go investigate these scorch marks and stuff.
Sure. All right. So as you head over here, there's definitely a target dummy, a couple of like archery targets. One has arrows and bolts in it. There is a gargoyle-esque creature atop a radiator.
Not touching it.
In fact, I imagine to get a better view, you might want to stop your coal fire, but then move it closer. So there you go. Yeah, it looks like it's the place for target practice. Must be nice to be a aristocrat that can shoot stuff inside your own home.
Yeah, why you would need to lock that magically makes me wonder, and then not have any magic item. Like, you're not protecting any valuables here, so I'm wondering if it's more like, again, I want to understand these scorch marks, or try to.
Sure. Make an Arcana check.
Because it's not sitting right with me.
Some of these scorch marks are definitely feel like spells, like someone cast some sort of fire spell and hit and opened up. There also appears to be evidence of other sort of magical attacks on the targets themselves. And it's pretty much all you can really make out with the Arcana check.
All right. I think it's time to leave. I'm assuming none of these rooms have had windows or anything, right?
No, none of these rooms have had windows.
All right. Noticed. Let's see if the doors are still locked from this side of the.
All right. This door is not locked on this side. In fact, this door was not wizard locked.
Cool. Well, I can't non-wizard unlock it anyway. So.
Yes, but I am just letting you know that it was just locked. Like you just turn the bolt and it unlocks. But the other one, it does remain closed.
All right, I'm gonna do my Misty Step.
All right, so
it's 3
meanwhile, you have completed your rubbing here, Panabon.
I completed the sketching of the symbols.
Of enough. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to do the whole thing or just enough to get an idea so you can show somebody, but
just enough to get an idea. So, like, if the first word is evil, like, Shaylun will know that it's evil, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
But before I do anything that's probably very foolhardy, like stepping into the mist, I want to look around the room for any paperwork that might explain the Misty Mirror to me, or something about what's going on in the house. I'd like to rifle through things and do things I'm generally more comfortable with.
So, yeah, there's a chest, there's end tables, there's the desk, there's looks like a map of Vaishan on the desk with some markings on it.
I'm going to pocket that map.
You take the map.
I'm taking the map.
All right.
I know they'll notice it missing, but they'll think it was Skultior. Everybody wins.
You've been planting that all across the house, so yes. So you take the map. What else?
Are there any drawers in the
There are drawers to that desk.
Okay, let's look in some drawers.
It's okay.
All right. There are a couple of drawers that are easy to open. There's one that is locked. The ones that are easy to open, you don't notice anything super interesting.
Lock drawer. Nope.
You can try again. The DC raises.
Well, I don't think I can do much worse. I did that, so. Lock drawer.
You open the drawer. There are 2 scrolled up parchments.
Great. Not even going to look at them. Just going to take them.
Okay.
We've been in this house for a long time. So, like,
you have been in here for about 10 minutes at this point. Maybe a little longer.
That's a long time in thieving. So let's look at are any of the titles by the bedpost in common or in Draconic or language I understand?
These appear to be more like magic-y style books.
I mean, I don't have a lot.
Like the ones upstairs.
Can I try Arcana on them and just see if I picked up anything?
Sure, you can try Arcana on them.
No,
Absolutely.
Never hurts to try. Wow.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you recognize a couple of books as being about magical theory of some sort.
Great. I'm gonna grab 3 books at random and hope I'm grabbing the right ones.
When you say 3 books at random, are you including the ones that you recognize as being about magic? Or are you like, this one's magic, this one's magic. Now I will randomly grab 3 books from all of these.
Oh, Huckleberry Finn.
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
It's more like if I can tell they're magic, of the ones that I can tell are magic,
Okay.
I'm going to grab 3 of them randomly because they might be heavy as well, and I don't want to overburden myself.
Sure. Understood.
I'm also going to take one of the books, a slim volume, not one of the ones I grabbed, but one of the ones that I didn't grab, and I'm going to throw it into the mist to see what happens when I throw something larger than a ball bearing into the mist.
It bounces off whatever is behind the mist back into the room.
Okay. Well, it did explode, and I'm about that size, and I feel really good about myself and what I've done, and I'm pretty, and so I'm going to fling myself into the mist and see what happens.
New character.
It's fine.
You fling yourself into the mist. There is a brilliant flash of light, and just suddenly pain explodes all around you, and you feel like you're flung backwards and falling. And when you open your eyes, you realize you're on the floor rubbing your nose because there's a wall behind the little stuff, and you take 4 points of damage.
Wow, Danny, so dramatic.
I just sigh to myself and I go, fine.
Just not how
but
you
I know it was there,
magic.
so that's the important thing. And
Yes.
I think that it is time to go after all that. And so I am going to exit stage left.
All right, Shailene, you come down the stairs.
I pop back over, look around the room, and go, Panabon?
Yeah, Panamon is not there, so.
I want to mess with the crystals.
Okay. In what way are you messing with the crystals?
Honestly, thinking about it, I think I was going to swap them out, but the sustained magic would auto-break if it's not a magic crystal. And so they might find it sooner than I would like. So instead...
Are these facts improv or
Yes.
something you read in a book? Okay.
I'm totally making Shay assumptions. So I think instead, like, the hardest thing that's the part that's going to slow them down the most is replacing them. So I think I'm just going to take them. Because trying to create an accident or whatever, like, it's like if
you
they could just
run headfirst into a wall. No, you could just run headfirst into a wall. That's what I did.
No.
I mean, you're doing a similar thing, though.
Yeah, but it's light divination.
I mean, an apple. It's like down to the core. Like,
according to my knowledge about a simple divination thing, like, it's not gonna hurt to do this. So, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
All right. So you take them, and anything else that you're doing in here?
No, nothing else I care about. Well, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to... I wanna use something in here to break the sustainer thing. So like,
Okay.
I'll just, I don't want to leave my residual shit around. So like, I'm gonna find something hard on the desk or something, or
Kick
like
it.
a chair leg or something, and hit it.
Give it the chair! Give it the chair!
All right. As you are looking for something to grab to do that with, you just hear a kind of sound, and that comes from the door behind you, the one leading back into the corridor and windows. Panabon, you are exiting, I guess? Or you are moving
I
in a
was
direction.
moving out of the room.
All right.
What did I hear that sound as well?
You do hear something kind of heavy, kind of thud reverberate in the house somewhere.
Great. So it's time to sneak back toward that room. Because as far as I'm aware, Shay is still there.
Okay. So you're just going to head back up?
Yes, but not through the fireplace. I did that once, and I feel like it's going to be more difficult going the other direction.
Okay. So which of these doors do you want to try?
This is where John is much worse at directions than... they're both closed, so I guess I'll just go through the one closest to me, I guess.
Okay, that door opens right up into the hallway.
Right, hallway. And then I guess I would just go through the door that I went through and up the stairs again.
Sounds good to me. So while you're doing that, Shay, Loon, what are you doing?
I'm still invisible. But also as soon as I can see the room again, there we go. I don't like this. I don't like noises that I don't expect. I'm gonna duck under this table to my left, to the right of the screen, that has the books and stuff. Because if someone comes in and crosses my way, I can still get out the door behind them.
Okay. There is another slam against the door.
Nope, don't like that.
Nope.
In the words of Alex.
This is great, and I'm not even there.
God damn it, Alex.
This is fine.
Right.
Everything's fine.
I don't have Minya. I don't have... the rape whistle isn't going to reach you guys from here.
All right. As Panabon, as you reach the top of the steps and come around the corner, the door bursts open and a creature just comes bursting through. Give me 1 second here. I want to say... there we go.
So glad I spent most of my high-level spells on Misty Stepping.
All right. So the thing that was on top of the radiator at the end of the corridor,
yeah,
has burst through the door. It is a thing that is apparently alive. And it looks around the room before seeing Panabon. Let's go ahead and get initiative rolls from the two of you.
Oh God!
I didn't realize I had actually gotten back into the room.
Yeah.
Fine. Everything is fine. Fine.
All right. So with that, it looks like Panabon is first. The shelves that are holding these books, these are fairly tall shelves, like 5 feet or so high, and everything else is about the height you would imagine it to be. There's no movement until it is your turn.
Oh, I thought I was already hiding under the table.
Yeah, you're under the far table. I thought you meant this table.
No.
Okay, you're under the table.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna split the veil. Is what we're gonna do.
Okay. So you are going to send. So you start by splitting the veil.
The veil. And I want to do. Actually, that's just what I'm gonna. I'm gonna. Wait, I can't throw a dagger, can I?
No, because it is an action to split the veil, but you can use your bonus action to command the veil to dash or attack, and then you can still move.
Bonus action, I command the veil to jump up on the table. If it can go that far.
The table with the no longer has stones on it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it can. And then are you moving?
Moving back toward the table this way. Just a little bit.
Okay. And then it gets to go. It starts by moving 1, 2, 3, and attacks the veil.
On guard.
It misses with the bite, and then as it kind of sweeps around, it also makes an attack with its claws. This time it does hit, and that means that your veil is thwarted, but you are still alive. Okay. Shayloon, you realize that Panabon is now here with you.
Okay. If it's distracted by the other you, can we run? I'm going to join Panabon by... Oop, I just tried to do it from Twitch.
It's not gonna
by
work that
the door.
way.
And... Yep, we gotta do it now. So I'm gonna cast... I'm gonna cast Sparkle Darts.
Okay. So you can't go directly through there. The bookshelves go all the way down to the ground. So you're either going to have to go behind or around near the creature.
I will not go near the creature.
All right. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or stay behind the thing.
Stay behind the thing.
Okay.
All right.
You will not have line of sight for sparkle darts in that case.
Oh, okay. Honestly, then I'm gonna use my full action then to move to the door, because I'm okay with running, and if I can't, although technically, like when I was back a couple steps, couldn't I have flung a spell and then moved behind the
You
bookshelves?
could have done that, yes.
All right, let's do that.
So from here, you're going to cast the spell.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, here we go. And I do 3 of them, right?
First one did how much damage? 5. So yeah. So that 3 of your sparkle darts slam into this thing, and you can see Panabon cracks like spider across its carapace as you do so, or as those missiles hit. It comes around to your turn. You can see Shaylin, because of course casting the spell made her visible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't. Shaylin, did you say something to me like you want to run, or are you making a hand motion I can see?
I said I said what I said. Should we fight or run? With your since it's distracted by a veil or your other you thing.
Yes, but I have to be with the veil at a certain distance.
So we fight.
Great. I'm gonna throw a dagger at it from where I am. Seems like a good idea.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and do some dagger throwing rolls.
Is there any way I can maneuver a little closer to Shaylin so I get sneak attack on it if I move closer?
You will not get sneak attack by moving closer to Shaylin. If you wanted to get sneak attack, you could attempt to hide by maneuvering so that the creature cannot see you before you make your attack. That's the thing you can do.
You've got that stand next to you. You can kind of duck behind and see if you can hide from there.
I don't like how limited that would make my mobility. I'm just going to throw from where I'm at.
Okay, go ahead and make the attack roll.
Make the attack roll. I feel a little rusty doing it this way.
You aim your gauntlet towards it, and
yes.
Fire wide as Shaylin is yelling at you tips, and you're like, wait, what? And off it goes.
What happens when people mess with my ability to do things?
What would you like to do with your bonus action, if anything? Remember, you have cunning action. You can dash, hide, or disengage. But
I'm actually going to. This is probably the worst idea I've ever had. I'm going to dash toward the open door. Like, run so that the gargoyle might be distracted enough that it will forget about Shaylin on the other side.
I see. So give me an acrobatics check real quick, unless you're trying to run right past it and then it gets an attack of opportunity.
No, I'm not trying to run right past it.
Okay.
I'm pretty. I'm not stupid. Maybe I'm both. Who knows?
All right. So you can move 10, 20, and then if you want to take your bonus action to dash, you can continue on towards the door.
I will do that and continue on towards the door. 3. And now it has to make a choice.
And are you stopping there? You can go another 10 feet.
I'm stopping. I'm going to go through and... Oh, wait. Is this the magical door?
It was, but it's busted down now.
Okay. But is the door still standing?
No, it's busted down.
Okay. But I could, like, prop it like a shield or something, right? Like, I'm trying to make a noise, essentially.
I mean, if as you stomp all over it, it makes noise.
Great. So I'm going to stomp to right inside the door.
All right, so you're going to be there. Okay.
Oh, what a weird room. I wasn't in this room before.
Yeah, you weren't in that. Yeah, now this area is open to you. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say that you got its attention. It turned towards Shaylin for a moment, but then Shaylin's missing, and the creature is going to attempt to chase after Panabon. So there you go.
Great.
Success, Panabon. Well done.
Remember me, Shaylin. Remember me.
And why is that going on?
This is fine.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Fine.
So this is going to be both attacks. So it tries to bite at you, and its claws right down. It misses, and it is Shaylene's turn again.
I'm gonna do my pretty sphere attack.
Okay.
So here we go.
Ooh.
I think I still have another inspiration.
You have one. You should have one more at least.
Okay. Let's do it. Why?
Ooh, ouch.
Yep.
Why?
That is unfortunate as the magic goes sailing over Panabon and into the back room where that door is open, splashing light. Panabon.
Hey. Other door is open. If I do the action, I can't dash again, right?
So you can. Your bonus action allows you to disengage, or you can take an action to disengage. Your bonus action allows you to dash, and you can take an action to dash. Like those 3 things that your bonus action does, you can do as actions as well. It's just really cool that you can do them as bonus actions. Like no one else can do them as bonus. So like you could do a disengage to get away, and then do your movement, and then like do a hide and try to hide from it. Once you get out of line of sight, things like that.
Okay, so here's what I kind of want to do, and you can tell me if I can actually do this. I would like to split the veil and then have both me and the veil dash, like, towards.
You can do that. It's going to get an attack of opportunity on one or both of you. So,
well, it's going to get to attack me if I don't move. So,
yep.
I got to take my chances here.
So on an even, it'll be you. All right. You and it run. So that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, like 25. Get around. It's going to attack your veil. Oops.
There are so many rooms in this house.
It does hit the veil. And then on its turn, it does chase after you.
Danny, I'm going to move the tech PC so I can see.
Sure.
Oh, or you will.
There, I think you can see everything from there now. All right. And let me clear targets, I think. Do that. All right. Yeah. All right. There you go. And then it's definitely going to attack.
I mean, that's fair.
You're fairly squirrely, but it does.
Oh, I don't like that.
It does get you with one claw. It kind of knocks you back pretty harshly for a total of 9, 10, 11 damage, not 6. This is broken.
I don't like that.
So let's.
I'm not a fan of that either.
Shayloon.
All right. Well, I gotta go see this. So I'm gonna.
I gotta go see Panama get murdered.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move so that it's in my line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And where are all my benefits? Where do I find those?
All
Notes?
right. So you
Notes.
under notes.
Benefits. Let's see. Shayloon has a nat 20. We're doing it, and I'm casting it at 3rd level.
Okay.
And this is, once again, Chromatic Orb. So I get to roll 5d8 twice.
So go up to the. No, you don't roll it twice. You roll it once, and then we add the full damage amount to that.
Okay. So 5d8. I only have
So
3d8 as an option.
It'll be 40 plus whatever you roll.
Okay.
All right, you can add that.
Sorry. And I'm gonna do it because I'm thinking strategically because I get to choose the damage type, right, for chromatic orb.
I believe so. I believe you choose. It's not.
Let me look it up
random.
real quick. You choose. Yep. So I'm gonna. Ooh. No.
It is a critter that appears to be made of stone.
Yeah. That's what. Like, I feel like thunder would be good, but I don't want a 5d8 damage worth of thunder going off in this house and drawing more attention to.
No.
I mean, at this point, what's the worst that could really happen?
Not what I want to do.
So much more worse could happen.
So I think I'll go with what, cold? I don't know. What's good with stone, guys? Cold.
I'm outside eating an apple.
Shut up, Aegis.
By the way, can we see hood lantern light flashing in one of the windows and hear like a little bit of a ruckus coming out of some of the windows from outside?
No.
Oh, okay. Good.
Just because there's enough space between that room and where the windows are.
That's just code for me and Aegis don't have to do anything. We're not obligated to go do anything.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't know that anything was going wrong at all.
Right?
And Lox is like, with a hat. Not
right.
attention.
All right, I'm just gonna go with cold. Maybe it'll make it brittle.
Okay.
But okay.
Good logic.
All right. So what you want to do? This is what you're going to do.
Okay.
You're going to grab the damage counter, the damage number, so the blood drop.
Oh, right.
You're going to drag it out, and you're going to right click twice, and then drop it either on the gargoyle or however you want.
I threw it a lot of places. Let me try that again.
I see how you shook it up there.
Yeah, you got to either drop it on the chat bar, or you got to drop it on the gargoyle.
But keep shaking it up though before you roll it every time.
No, those are just practice ones, guys. Okay, I legit roll. Okay, hold on. Fine, I'll drop it on the gargoyle.
You kind of there you go. All right, so that plus the additional, as it like lunges for you again, you see, Panavon, that it like from the back, it gets almost like a lighter sheen of gray, and it starts at the back and then moves all the way forward to the front, and then it just falls over and shatters on the ground in front of you. Gargoyle defeated.
Shatters.
I would like to leave now if we are done.
We gotta go.
Yeah, I agree. We've been here a long time.
I can't invisible anymore. I'm too exhausted.
Well, good thing that most Dark Claws don't really register gnomes. So I close the front door. What we should do is open it just a crack, and I'll just like throw out some ball bearings or something so we can.
Is there a side window? Something we can just go out a window on the first floor?
Only to the street. It kind of all looks like they're built into the sides of the house.
That's not good for natural lighting, but all right.
Well, I mean, we could try to like do a distraction thing in one of the windows because the curtains are drawn. So if we open them a little bit, like maybe one of our faithful companions.
Are you having this discussion here? Okay, good.
As we're running.
We're running. We're not staying in that room.
No.
As you're going to be running. Okay, so before that, it is after 10.
Oh shit.
So we're going to stop for now
Okay.
and pick up again next week and see how quickly they get out of the house.
Good. So fun.
As Aegis continues to chew on his apple and Perunia is down the way. So
why does it take you 15 minutes to eat a goddamn
I
apple?
was gonna say, I'm sure it's
We'll
gone
find
by
out
now.
next week.
right.
Unlike Clockwork.
In the meantime, do give me. Let's get from you an intelligence check from Panabon real quick, and I'm going to take this result with me over the week.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about that.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Let's figure out what happens next week. And, we'll figure out what other shenanigans and dangers these folks can get into when we return next week. Like Clockwork.
Bye.
Bye.